got Phil Tibitoski here with me from the Young Horses. Everybody has been talking about Octodad, right? We saw a little bit of Octodad, and we know that it looks weird, and we know that we want to see more. So I'm glad that you're here. You brought the demo. Let's jump in and see what Octodad's about.
Definitely, let's do it.
So I'm an octopus and a dad?
You're both.
Great.
But no one knows you're an octopus, but you.
Not even my wife?
Not even your wife.
Wow.
Just think about how that works for a second.
I feel like that's gonna come up probably right after this wedding.
Yeah, it's gonna be an awkward night.
So tell me what's going on here. This is obviously, you're pretending to be a human, but you still only have octopus appendages.
Yeah, so you've stuffed your tentacles into this suit, which we claim is a three-piece, but really isn't, and people like to point that out and be upset with us. But so you stuffed your tentacles in here, you're walking around, they're all anthropomorphic and such.
Yeah.
So you switch back and forth between arms where you're like picking stuff up, throwing it all over the place, and running around here. It's mostly controlled with the sticks and the triggers.
So tell us a little bit about how this is controlling. I mean, it's triggers to walk, but and kind of sticks to move, but there's a one-to-one weirdness going on.
Yeah, so you control all of his limbs independently, kind of like a 3D quap in a way.
Okay.
But a little less frustrating, a lot more funny, hopefully. So if you hold down the right trigger, R2, he lifts his right leg up in the air like that.
Okay.
And then you use the right stick to move it, and then you let go of the trigger and drop it. And you do the same thing for the left foot. And this is how you kind of walk around and cause destruction in your environment.
Yeah, he's blending in.
Which, I mean, isn't all that great when you're actually being watched by people, because then they start getting a little suspicious. But if you're in a room with nobody else, you can just ride it and just go.
So this is interesting. So when you are in a room full of people, you have to keep your actions looking more human.
Yeah, you have to stay inconspicuous so as not to, you know, draw their suspicion. Because, I mean, otherwise you look totally human, so.
So is that the main crux of the gameplay here, is that you are going to be doing different day-to-day things.
Right.
People are going to be watching, and you cannot give away that you are an octopus.
Exactly. And I mean, we have a whole overarching story that we haven't even really talked about yet. That's going to be a big surprise to people once we launch, I think. But you go through a day in his life, and this is the first level, which is actually like a flashback to his wedding. Well, a flashback dream. So,
Octodad Origins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
After this, you wake up in your house and you are so droopy and tired, and you just have to get out there and get some coffee, stuff like that, mow the lawn, important stuff like that.
So I mean, just the act of like grabbing this key and putting it into this door. Oh my gosh. I love.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy mode.
Yeah, so you guys are seeing here how Phil's kind of navigating via the controller. This is what it looks like to take steps. I'm gonna try to put the key in the door. Nicely done.
I played this a few times, so. But yeah, I don't know, people come up to it and they think it's like, they're watching and they're like, oh, this seems really hard or like really difficult, but then they play and within 30 seconds to a minute, they're going.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So how are you using the DualShock 4 other than just basic control stuff? Are you using any of the advanced functionality of it?
Not yet. We'd like to use the touchpad for some of our menu stuff as well, and we'll be adding the rumble and stuff, and we'd also very much like to play with the light bars and tracking that with the PSI.
Yeah.
Because we want to do move stuff later as well if we can.
Oh, that's amazing.
Just because, I mean, I feel like it's a perfect fit, and I feel like maybe it's one of the only games where like motion controls actually make it easier.
Yeah. You can just. So this is cool. Getting to the chapel on time. Whoa, okay.
That's a thing, you know.
Cthulhu Church.
I mean, we weren't quite sure what religion he was part of, so we figured we'd just...
That makes sense. That makes sense that he worships the old gods.
And what else would you do? God, I don't know how this tie got up here. Someone is just a jerk. But we're not afraid to make a mess.
Sure.
At least right now. No one's around.
This is amazing. Who is in Octodad's wedding party?
Well, you'll find out.
Okay.
But, because we're about to get to the chapel, and Scarlett's family will be there, and, you know, you might have someone there, maybe not. There's a giant gate for all churches, you know.
Yeah, sure, you gotta have a portcullis if you're a church.
Exactly.
When you're designing the control for something like this, You want it to be awkward. You want it to be lumbering.
Right.
What's the line? What's the balance? How do you know when it's too frustrating for people?
We did a lot of testing. We have public tests like every 2 weeks, just to see what feels right for people. And we do want that like awkward funniness, but at the same time, we don't want it to get so frustrating that they're just gonna like chuck the controller through the screen or whatever. This isn't a Wii, and like, so we do these things where we add kind of these helpful forces to some of his movements. Like when you're walking upstairs, we add a little bit more force to the bottom of your feet to help you out.
Gotcha.
Because otherwise, some of this stuff can get a little bit more frustrating than funny.
Who put those banana peels in the aisle?
I mean, I assume the priest is just like banana fanatic or something like that, but so you have to kind of slowly, carefully get down this aisle. Otherwise, if you like, knock something over,
that guy's
drop
like,
a suspicion and it starts filling your bar.
That guy's like, hey, I think that guy may be an octopus.
Yeah, they're staring at me. They're creeping.
Only an octopus would break that vase.
Oh God.
Oh, are you even gonna make it?
Maybe.
They're all worried.
I don't know if I should reveal all these secrets.
Yeah, reveal the secrets.
Spoilers, just grabbing these hidden ties that we have all over the world that you collect.
So this is great. So he's into accessories.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you'll have a tie collection. You'll be able to swap them out and stuff like that.
Nice.
Maybe we'll get some DLC in there, like 30 new ties. It'll be great. Sell for like $100.
Yeah, micro payments per tie.
Yep.
Sure.
God, this donation box is like insane. I don't know who goes to this church. There's like the balloon.
Obviously people from Hyrule.
Yeah, exactly. Got a hymn board. Hymn 10,512. She's just like.
She's just
she's
like,
so happy to see me.
anytime.
I think she's just used to it at this point, but like.
Boom.
Married.
Married. Just like that. Phil, you've made the silliest thing. This is the silliest thing.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're a little weird.
Sure. This is great though.
Thank you. Coincidentally, there's 8 of us.
Nice.
Perfect.
It's all
number.
coming together. It's deep. It's like
Coherent.
Lost. You're like,
Hey, I like that show.
it's a great show. Well, when are we going to be seeing Octodad?
We're going to be seeing Octodad Deadliest Catch, hopefully in spring 2014 for PS4.
Excellent.
Current plan.
Well, Phil, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to see you. And we have the trailer for Octodad because I know that you want to know more now.
The song is super catchy.
Excellent.